I was a sex worker. I was a dominatrix
Jaggy.
before I got my record deal.
Damn.
That's how I know how the dark world and the sex world and the entertainment world run hand in hand. That's why the movie Blink Twice is so important. Salute to Zoe Kravitz. The sex workers that I have worked with throughout the years and continue to work with even to this day have worn hidden cameras. I have my own tapes.
Ooh.
I've seen what they do.
Oh.
The ritualistic.
Jaggy says she got her own tape about that shit. Boy, holy shit. I know you was lying to me. Oh.
Behaviors, the drugging, putting girls in the suitcases.
Whoa. Putting girls in suitcases? This nigga did.
Dumping them in alleyways. It's horrifying. And it's all done under the protection of this is going to be paid off. There's another NDA. This is going to be, it's terrible.
It seems to have been something that a lot of people knew about, but people were simply too scared to talk about.
Everyone knows. And every person that's sitting there trying to act surprised knows very well. The whole point of this, like Cat Williams said when he sat with Shay Shay earlier this year, the whole point of this is for them in a coordinated effort to pretend like none of it is real for the public's perception. Everyone knows what's going on, and it's been going on for years. It's been going on before Diddy. See, people keep looking at him like he's the Sputnik that came out of nowhere. This is someone who was designed to be what he is. We got to stop making ditties.
Gotta stop making ditties.
And if we're going to do that, then we got to go back. We got to go back to even further, the mentors of these people. Because Diddy was taught how to do what he does systematically. And Clive Davis has been his greatest teacher.
Ooh, shit.
Look, Clive Davis is not here to respond to that, nor is Jay-Z. But a lot of people, famous people in the music industry, have been notable, like I say, by their silence so far. It's also been notable that since the Me Too campaign began in 2017, the music industry has largely avoided the same scrutiny that other industries have had. Why do you think that is?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Since Me Too began in 2017, the music industry has largely avoided the same kind of scrutiny that other industries have had. Why do you think that is?
Well, because the Me Too movement was a ruse. It was a setup. It was a scam.
Talk to me.
I'm saying that now.
Talk to me.
Publicly.
You can sell this $5 spatula on Amazon and compete with hundreds of other spatula sellers.
Fuck your spatula,
Hampton spearheaded the Surviving R. Kelly campaign, which fueled the Me Too campaign. And that was all funded by Sean Carter to make sure that Robert Kelly went to jail.
Hey, Mr. Carter, tell me where have you been?
Get his lick back. Why is nobody understanding that Dream Hampton was being financed and ran by Sean Carter? They were able to go and get all of these witnesses because he was there with Robert Kelly. How does Jay-Z sit down with Gayle King and she not ask him one question about the intersection between him and Aaliyah and Robert Kelly? This is insane that people keep refusing to see what's right there.
Talk to him.
If the Me Too
Talk to him. Jag is cooking right now, boy. I ain't gonna lie. I thought she was gonna come on here with the emotional, real life street stars like interview. Nah, she is holding it together and dropping bombs, boy.
movement were real, why aren't they speaking now? they've also been very quiet in this time of the diddler's downfall.
The diddler.
Jaguar,
Guess
this-
they on vacation.
if this goes to court, Jaguar, do you think the world is going to be shocked by what comes out?
Oh, absolutely. I just don't know why they are. It's been happening in front of everyone's faces for decades. For decades.
Damn.
How many victims?
What's the difference between me and Judy Garland?
Not
Social
Judy.
media.
Not Judy Garland. Oh my God.
How many victims?
There was none for her.
How many victims potentially do you think there could be?
Thousands. Thousands.
Woo.
I've talked to hundreds that I deal with still myself.
Hey, thousands is not a stretch because, nigga, I don't know if y'all know. As of yesterday, it's 120. 120, 60 men, 60 bitches. 25 of them are minors.
I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well.
Are we talking about Jay-Z now?
They're a nasty little couple.
Yeah, we
They
are.
do nasty things.
Ooh.
What do you think happened with Kim
Keeping
Porter?
people against their will.
Ooh. Talk to
Putting
me.
people on planes
Talk
while
to
they're
me.
unconscious. Just like Aaliyah got on that plane.
Ooh.
Unconscious. There's a lot of things that people don't want to talk about, Pierce.
Listen, like I said, Jay-Z and Beyonce are not here, unfortunately, to
Fuck 'em.
respond to that.
I know.
We don't care.
I'm just being honest with you.
You're perfectly entitled to your views, obviously. Kim Porter, a new book claims that Diddy may have been involved in her early death. What do you think of that?
I think people should really look into that more. I am friends with Albie Shore.
Albie.
I love him. I love his children. I knew Kim. Used to all hang out together at the Kit Kat Club
Not the
back
Kit
in
Kat.
the mid-90s when Diddy was first starting his reign.
Ooh.
I watched that whole thing happen. And everything that Albert has been through, every attempt on his life that has been ignored by the authorities, it all leads back to Diddy. And everyone knows it. The wiretapping of the phones, putting air tag on children during visits.
Didn't I say one of goddamn Diddy's nickname was AirTag Epstein? This is why. This nigga actually put air tags on kids. What? Oh, shit.
These are normal practices that these people do.
Not the norm.
Jaguar, I've got to leave it there. I really appreciate you joining me. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Jay.
for having me.
Oh, my goodness.
And thank you for caring.
I do care. Thank you very much. Well, I'm joined now by the host of Vlad TV, DJ Vlad. DJ
They
Vlad,
said
pretty
Vlad was on
horrifying listening
bullshit.
to
They said Vlad was on some bullshit.
these testimonies. What did you make of what you just heard?
Well, Jaguar Wright is known to be a conspiracy theorist.
Shut up. See, Vlad, you can't do that, Vlad. This is why a lot of people say what they say. Even though I'm on the opposite side of that, I definitely understand and fuck with your model. But, nigga, you cannot do that. Oh, my God. You know what's
I don't
right.
really co-sign anything that she says. I've never had her on my show, and I don't have any plans to have her on my show.
You don't believe it?
I don't know.
Why, Vlad? Oh, my God. That nigga Vlad here.
Album in 20 years, and a lot of this stuff is just stuff she's heard, things she's making up, and so forth. I'm not saying that there aren't serious things that Diddy may have done, but yeah, I can't co-sign anything that Jaguar Wright is saying, if that's your question.
Well, I mean, obviously, since we last spoke, there have now been these charges against Diddy, which are incredibly serious. You didn't think at the time we last spoke that he was likely to face.
My name is Tyler Devereaux. I'm inviting you to attend my brand new 2-hour live masterclass, and I'm about to
Fuck
show
your
you what
masterclass.
these
Fuck,
charges. Are
nigga.
you surprised it's come to this?
I'm not surprised because I feel that law enforcement in general is reactionary. I think that when you look at high-profile individuals, their arrests, indictments usually come after a documentary, a big TV show, or in Diddy's case, it was this huge lawsuit that Cassie filed, and everyone got to see all the details and all the attention that came to it. So, yeah, it wasn't a surprise that it actually happened because you've seen this happen over and over again. R. Kelly, um, Harvey Weinstein, all the attention that they got, and then now Diddy. So, yeah, I mean, this is ultimately the world that we live in. But he'll have his day in court. And, his lawyer said that he's not going to take a plea deal because I think a plea deal at this point is probably going to be very heavy handed, probably 20 years plus. So it makes sense for him to go to court.
Shit.
But we'll ultimately see what happens, because we haven't really seen.
Do y'all really think it makes sense for this nigga to go to court if he gets a plea deal for 20 years? No, I think he need to take that shit. They gonna electrocute this nigga.
Apart from some of
This nigga had white children.
the funny stuff of, there's 1 million bottles of lube that they found there. I'm sorry, 1,000 bottles of lube and so forth. We have yet to really see what the evidence is. And I think once we see the actual evidence, then people will actually formulate an opinion on what's happening right now.
Do you think there's a lot of people in the rap world in particular who are pretty fearful right now of where this may all lead? Is it a bit like the Epstein scandal, do you think?
Yeah.
I don't really think so, because, ultimately, everyone wanted to go to Diddy's white parties when they were happening. If I got an invite, I would go. But there's a party within a party.
Not the party
There's the
within
actual
a party.
party where the big celebrities go to, the Howard Stern.
Boy, y'all seen that goddamn TikTok that going around talking about the celebrities being questioned about Diddy party. It's just funny how everybody left right before the bullshit happened. I'm like, nigga, yeah, I left at 1 o'clock. They must have started fucking at 1:05.
Burns and the Leonardo DiCaprios and so forth. You never hear of any of them really being involved in any of this stuff. They go home, at 2, 3 o'clock a.m. And then there's the private parties that seem to involve the sex workers and probably certain types of people that are kind of in an inner circle. No. And we'll see if those names ultimately come out or not. I think that when it comes to a situation like the feds, cooperating is a very big thing. And I think if Diddy cooperates and gives up some big names of actual crimes that they committed, that'd be a way of actually, lessening the amount of time that he does, or possibly even walking away.
No.
I mean, what did you heard about Diddy over the years?
No. I don't think Diddy could walk away. I don't know. What y'all think? Y'all think if he can bring down like Clyde, Jay-Z, Beyonce, and a couple of more, that they'll let this nigga walk free from everything that we're hearing? What?
People knew he had parties. They knew he was a big rap star and so on. But the nature of this kind of thing, I'm asking because when I watched, for example, I met Diddy a couple of times. He was always perfectly charming to me. But I've met a lot of people who are charming and turned out to be monsters. The video that came out of showing him beating up his then girlfriend in a hotel corridor was so shocking that when I watched it, I remember thinking, well, this guy is capable of anything. I mean, a man that would do that, who's that famous, who would do that to a woman in a hotel corridor, public hotel corridor, if he's prepared to be that violent in public, knowing there might be cameras around, he's prepared to do pretty much anything, was my conclusion. I mean, what did you hear about him over the years?
Yeah, I mean, that tape was horrific. And after our interview that we did with Roger Bonds, who I helped to bring onto the show, I did my own interview with Roger Bonds. It was a very in-depth, I think, two-hour interview where he goes into actually witnessing a lot of women that were physically abused by Diddy. I mean, not only Cassie, of course, which you saw multiple times, but Kim Porter. He was on a trip where Kim Porter got her nose broken allegedly by Diddy and flew in a plastic surgeon to fix it. There was
Man, that's a whole roller coaster right there. That is a whole roller coaster right there. I really think that not Kim, Cassie was a victim turned victimizer.
Personal chef that Diddy beat up. I actually heard voicemails of her describing it. This wasn't even something that she wanted to come publicly with. There was other women as well that I got details on. So I think that Diddy has a long history of violence towards women, but also of men, because there's also the Steve Stout incident. If you remember that whole situation.
That's what I'm saying. Y'all keep focusing on these women. Bruh, this is crazy. These niggas got grown men coming out talking about, he took advantage of me.
He was in an interview. Sorry, he was in a music video with.
Not Justin Bieber. Shouts out to Justin Bieber. God damn, that shit break my heart with Justin. But all these other grown ass niggas who was already 28 plus working on albums, trying to get in the industry, and then he whipped out his dick and you thought about it. No, nigga, you don't deserve shit.
Nas, Hate Me Now, and there was a scene where Diddy was on the cross like Jesus, and I guess he went to Steve Stout afterwards and said that he wants to take that part out. That part wasn't taken out, so Diddy and his entourage show up at Steve Stout's office and they beat him with a champagne bottle, which they ultimately settled out of court for. So I think there's a lot of violence that has happened around him, and I think at this point it's just catching up to him.
There's lots of rumor mills about him being secretly gay or bisexual or whatever. I mean, I don't care, but do you think
that is not no longer a rumor, boy? Diddy is definitely bi. That is a bisexual man. We just have to be honest and just address it for what it is. Nothing wrong with it, but we just have confirmation of what it is.
there's much credence to those?
I mean, it's hard to say. I have heard, because remember, for example, the Wendy Williams situation. She was on the radio in New York, and she said that.
Shout out to Wendy, goddamn, bro. That's another thing we're gonna get to, cause Wendy goddamn came and spoke about this, even in her state that she's in now, and I'm here all for it.
She had photos of Diddy in.
Do you like minting money? Well, the lithium business is for you. The
Damn,
lithium
Elon.
margins right now are practically sold.
Shut up.
A gay type environment of some sort. And I had someone actually explain to me what that photo was after the fact. And Diddy came in and threatened to sue the radio station unless she was fired. And she was fired, and she had to go to Philly for, I think, 5 years or something like that. So there was that. I'm not sure how true it is, because it was just a photo, and a photo, could mean a lot of different things. I mean, the fact that he's a cuckold, that he likes to masturbate while watching women that he's with have sex with other men. I don't know. Is that gay? Is that bisexual? Is that just being a cuckold?
Vlad, stop.
It's hard
stop,
to say.
Vlad. This is why I get it. I get it, because you just being very political correct. You're trying to be politically correct while on TV, but Vlad, stop it. Stop it. You can't try to say just because we've only heard about the cuckold situation that he is not bisexual. This man puts his penis in man butt.
Something that I'm actually into. But I'm sure it blurs the lines between homosexuality and bisexuality somewhat. But I don't think he's exclusively gay, because he has a lot of children. It's hard to really say, and it ultimately doesn't really matter.
Yeah, he bi. It don't matter.
And, I've talked about this in my interviews. I think if he came forward and said, hey, I'm a bisexual man, I think a lot of the jokes, like the no Diddy jokes and so forth, will kind of ease down, and people might actually be a little understanding of his situation a little bit more, as opposed to him denying it. But ultimately, who knows? I have no idea.
We've talked, people have talked a lot in the last few years that it's unusual that so few people in the music business have been held to account.
Shout out my nigga goddamn ones in the building. Yes, sir. Most definitely always working, and we gon' get this truth out. Y'all see what the fuck going on. Shout out Piers Morgan, boy.
Campaign umbrella in the way that other industries were held to account. Could this be, following R. Kelly and others, could this be a tipping point where there might be a lot of other rap stars in particular, perhaps, with very checkered backgrounds, lots of rumors about them, could all start falling like dominoes? So, stars in particular, perhaps.
It's hard to say. Like I said in the beginning, it's very reactionary. I think if there is a lot of media attention over somebody, there's a documentary about them, there's movies about them and so forth, I think that ends up getting on law enforcement's radar, and then you will see things kind of escalate very quickly. It's hard to say. R. Kelly was extremely high profile, and there will be others, but I don't think that the music industry is really having less situations than other industries. I mean, every industry has certain situations and they're high profile, and there's a bunch of other stuff that kind of falls below the radar.
Finally, DJV, what do you think is going to happen here? Do you think Diddy will ever come out of prison?
That's a tough one, because I was really shocked that he didn't get a bond. I thought for sure that he'd be sitting in his mansion.
No. He's not going to get a bond when he is this violent with this much reach, knowing that he can coerce. He's known for coercing. Like this whole thing, we are here because nigga, he takes you out of the state of doing what you want to do, and somehow you end up doing what he wants you to do. Like, no, Vlad,
right now
this is
awaiting
bad,
trial,
Vlad.
but he's
This
sitting
is
in a jail
bad.
cell right now, and it could be years before this actually makes it to trial.
Fuck you mean
So
it is?
it proves that things are very, very serious on his end. And if you look at the R. Kelly situation, he got, I believe, 30 years. This may fall along the same lines, except the only difference is when I looked into the R. Kelly case, a lot of the convictions were based on underage girls. You know, you've heard a few spatterings of underage accusations, but in general, it seemed like most of the women were of legal age in the Diddy case. So I'm thinking it won't be as severe as it is with Diddy.
Boy, you must not have been on your updated shit, boy. Sorry, that's null and void. We have 25 minors. 25, sir. This is most definitely Diddy Epstein at this point.
I'm sorry, as it is with R. Kelly. But for someone like Diddy, who's in his mid-50s, he doesn't want to spend 5, 10, 20 years in prison.
No.
He wants to get out. He wants to keep it moving. So I
To
think
keep it
he will
moving.
get out of prison at one.
What them blue hunters make a bitch do? Dog, if this nigga Diddy get anything remotely close to 10 years, nigga, and walk, nigga, I swear to God, all this getting right and doing right shit, fuck that. I am goddamn just getting money. That's it. Everything is gonna be geared to just getting fucking money. This would be crazy.
At one point, it's just hard to say, right now what it's going to be.
Yeah, it is. It's a fascinating story. DJ Vlad, thank you very much indeed for joining me. I appreciate
DJ
it.
Fly.
Thanks for
DJ
having
Fly.
me.
Well, I'm joined now by Ariel Mitchell Kidd, who's a lawyer. For
There
one
she
of-
go. Oh my God, Ariel Mitchell Kidd, bruh. I'm trying to think, bruh. Telling you right now, this is her. This is the one. This is the insider. This is the one who brokers the deals to get the tapes and make sure they don't come out and get to the right people. She's this bitch.
Diddy's alleged victims. Thank you very much indeed for joining me. There are so many people coming forward now with allegations about Diddy. What do you think about the scale of this case?
Well, before I get into that, I kind of want to address the prior two panelists. First with Mrs. Jaguar Wright. She said a lot of things that were very jarring in her explanation of what she saw and had firsthand accounts on.
I ain't gonna lie. Shawty looked like she just came out of Ringer. She might have just came out of Jay-Z in them office. Goddamn Beyonce slapping this bitch around. Bitch, you better get on that motherfucker. You say something right. Make us look good around this motherfucker. I swear to God. Boy, look, that side part is side. And that bit leave out is left. God damn.
My concern for her, she's saying a lot
Jesus,
of
now you
things
wanna
that
give
could
her a
be considered
close-up.
libelous.
Right.
And I would suggest that she contacts an attorney, if only to vet the information she has or purports to have from other victims. At least they can protect her, and then they can also do their due diligence, the attorneys, to make.
For real, Josh, you know I ain't lying, bro. This shit looking horrible. This what I'm saying. Understand what you're doing. You was in front of millions. This man already got motherfucking. Let's see. This man in 21 hours is going on 1.9 million views. He got 1.8 right now, but he's going on 1.9. I'm adding to that, okay? 21 hours. You do not then get to come on TV. Look at, gee. Struggling ain't the word, my boy. She going through it. She from Asheville, North Carolina.
Make sure that the information she's receiving
Too
is
soon, my
accurate
bad.
outside of the things that she knows and may have proof of.
Oh, shit.
I was very concerned about some of the things that she had said in her prior segment. I also want to address Mr. Vlad, who I know to be a culture vulture.
Oh,
takes
shit.
From the
Yo. I didn't know she was coming in on this bullshit. Whoa. Damn. Vlad, you You can't escape these
Black
accusations.
community and doesn't give back and puts artists in situations where then they are indicted by the police. And he's very much so what we call police type investigation in the Black community. And for him to repudiate what Mrs. Wright has said, I thought was completely out of line. He can say he doesn't agree, which is fine.
I agree
but
with that. I agree with that. That's what I was saying. You can't just come up here and discredit what Jaguar is saying. Jaguar made it here because what she has said previously has came to pass. What her word has said has actually came out to be truth. So then, Vlad, you just can't come up and be, oh, she's a conspiracy theorist. I don't really go for anything she says, and she'll never make it to my show. Vlad, come on. Hey, you know what? I'm with white privilege. Use it. I'm for it, nigga. But damn, just read the room, nigga. You better
for
than
him
that.
to be someone who constantly uses the Black community and uses them as a means for his platform, I thought that was very inconsiderate and unprofessional. Now, to get to your question that you asked of me regarding the victims, there are victims coming out every day, even someone who contacted me last night. So, and it's only standing to be more individuals coming out. I do talk to some of the other attorneys who represent victims that we already have known because they filed cases, who have additional victims who plan to come forward and they plan to file cases against very soon.
I ain't gonna lie, Josh. Now I think about it, this is the lawyer, so she going through this case. So this would be this would be like the outer look of what you going through. She going through it, trying to goddamn hide this and sell this to this motherfucker and make sure Jay-Z is the behind it. Man,
So it's only a matter of how many more are going to come out, and it seems to be, it'll be very many more.
You've said that you've been contacted regarding the sale of one of the Diddy freak-off tapes.
Yeah,
and
here you go.
features a very high-profile
Pre-trial.
celebrity.
Fuck you mean?
What can you...
Pre-trial, taking ass through there. Goddamn.
Tell us about that.
Oh, shit.
So actually, I recently was contacted by one of my business partners who's also an attorney who said to me, well, why are we not writing the demand letter to try to do the catch and kill? And I said, well, if you want to do it, then I'll connect you and you can essentially do it. He was also concerned about wanting to protect the other person who was in the film, mainly because I've known about this for about 3.5 weeks to about a month. I've been communicating with these people who purport to have that videotape. And it wasn't until Thursday night that they outright said, can you write on your letterhead a letter to the individual who's also in the tape and see if they're interested in a catch and kill? And is that something, we'll give you X amount of percentage of it. And at the time I was like, I don't think I want to be involved in this, but I hadn't had time to process. But the other attorney I'm speaking of, he's pretty much been in the know the entire time since I first got.
Boy, that shit be going down behind the scenes, boy.
I contacted by these.
This is a real lawyer that negotiates the deals behind the scenes. So when they was like, oh, R. Kelly tape came out, no, there was a negotiated deal to get that into the hands of someone for that to come out. This is what's going on with this behind the scene Diddy high profile tape with another person that's more high profile than him.
With the tape. And we're pursuing now a meeting with the three of us for us to broker, I guess, a situation where we'll have certain guarantees that once we...
This bitch don't sound like she guarantees she gonna leave this broker alive. Nigga, she is struggling. Nigga, boy, look, she don't sound too confident that goddamn, boy, this shit, boy, just listen to what she's saying.
With the tape. And we're pursuing now a meeting with the three of us.
The three of us.
Broker, I guess, a situation.
Broker, I guess. Boy, she is woo.
Where we'll have certain guarantees that once we make the representations to the person.
Wow, you can hear the shaking in her voice, dog. she is really shaking, like trying to just say this shit. But it is different when you start living out like movie type shit. Y'all know how it is riding through the city now, and it's like, damn, this shit look like a movie. This shit kind of like a movie type. Like, think about living her life, where now she's goddamn brokering a deal for a P. Diddy sex tape with another high profile person who's more high profile than Diddy on this tape. That means, boy, billions and billions of dollars can be at work, can resource, can unalive me, and we could just, boy, look, boy, I feel her. Let me get in front of as many people as I fucking can. You got me
person
fucked
in the
up.
tape, that we have some level of assurances that this is a valid tape.
And just to be clear, two thoughts about this. One, is it a household name that we're talking about here? And secondly, are they engaged in any criminality from what you understand?
Household name, very much so. More of a household name than Mr. Combs.
Wow,
And
really?
criminality, they are
More of a household name than Mr. Combs.
engaged in pornography. They're not doing anything illegal per se. I can't say that well, I'll say this. My concern was that I could not verify the age of the individual. And so that was my concern about not.
So we got somebody that's more popular than Diddy in a sex tape with Diddy, and her main concern was whoever was getting fucked, she could not verify the age. That's scary.
Having anything sent to me and viewing it in the way that I did via stills, via FaceTime video. So I didn't want to have anything in my phone because my issue is we can't determine if this person is 17 to 21.
Right.
So there is, we know for sure, what are the facts we can take away from this? That there is for sure a Diddy sex tape with somebody just as popular or more, that once it's leaked, the person getting fucked can only be considered between the ages of 17 and 21.
Fascinating.
Air
It's
tag
been reported there
Epstein.
could be a class action with over 50 alleged victims of Diddy. It also feels like there could be a lot more than that.
Way
Do
more,
you
sir.
think, when
120.
you look at this case now, that
We're currently at 120. This nigga Diddy is right now performing the first 120 versus 1, nigga. This nigga has 60 bitches and 60 niggas that have came and made accusations and brought cases against Diddy. 25 of these motherfuckers were underage when this shit happened. One of them, being as young as 9 years old. We have officially entered the Diddy Epstein era, which really gonna bring my Carisha is a nasty bitch. We're gonna get on her later.
he's ever going to come out of prison?
I do, and I'll explain why. Everything that comes out in that criminal trial will be used by not only me, but every other civil litigator who has a civil case against Mr. Combs.
Woo!
Everything that the federal government proves beyond a reasonable doubt, because they have a higher criteria to meet than we do. It's the preponderance of the evidence in civil court. So if we have the federal government, if you will, doing all of our heavy lifting for us in a very public trial, all of the discovery that is done will be very valuable, invaluable almost, to every civil attorney who is working on a civil case, which I believe we're about at 14, 15, outside of the other attorney who recently said that he has 50 individuals. And I don't know if he actually has 50 people or if that's a shock value number. I'd be curious to see once that filing comes out. I haven't seen it. I do know other attorneys who have several individuals that they are in the process of filing a complaint for. I'm in the process of filing the complaint for another victim and fielding calls from other individuals who I may take on as clients. I've actually spoke to multiple individuals, but did not take on everybody as a client because I was unable to verify what it was that they were saying, not because I didn't believe them or believe that what they were saying to be true. And
just
that's
gotta
why
have the
I
evidence
also
when you
expressed
bring it
at
when
the
you bring it
beginning
forward.
that Mrs. Wright needs to seek legal counsel, not only about things that she's saying, things that other people are saying that she's repeating, only because a lawyer will go and do a certain level of due diligence to make sure that there's a good faith basis that the claims being asserted are actually true. But I never thought that Mr. Combs would get bond. I do not feel it would be advantageous for him to take this to trial because it would only destroy, well, not destroy him financially, but also let's even pretend he were to get off everything, which I absolutely do not see him being victorious in a criminal trial. The feds have, I believe, like a 97 point something success rate. He's pretty much shooting blind in that situation. His attorney is not doing anything to help him either. And some of the public statements that he's been giving is actually turning public perception more negatively towards Mr. Combs. Not that I'm trying to help him at all in a legal sense. However, when we talk about criminal law, when we talk about the feds this is not a state case, this is a federal case. When we talk about their success rate, the federal government, especially the Southern District of New York, we're talking about people who aim to kill is the best way I can put it. They are successful. They are the leaders in the field. And anything that comes out, any discovery, any testimony, any depositions that come out will be used in his civil cases, which I don't think he's going to want because that's all, he's creating evidence for us to use. And to the point that, while I don't want to acknowledge Vlad, the point that he made earlier about...
Boy, she don't like Vlad. She shitting on Vlad. Her whole segment is a shit on Vlad.
Being heavy-handed in terms of any settlement, I do agree to that, only because one of the charges and the main charges is a RICO. And a RICO carries a life sentence, not just a 25 or 40 year or whatever. It's a life sentence.
Fuck you
and
mean?
If we think about how RICO was created in New York
mob
to take
bosses.
down mafia bosses.
Yeah.
Mob
Talk.
And that's what Mr. Combs is. He's a
Mob
mafia
boss.
He's a New York mafioso boss. And the RICO law was created to take down people like him.
Talk
so
to
if he were
him.
to take a plea deal, if only to save himself any potential liability in terms of things that could be used against him in civil court, I can't possibly see him taking less than 25 to 30 years in a plea bargain. However,
thank you, bruh. I'm glad she said that. I swear to God. When Vlad said that, I said the same exact thing she said. If there is a plea for 20 years, nigga, you better take that shit. That is the best you gonna get. Nigga, you see what they did to R. Kelly? 30 off the dribble. Fuck is you talking about? You better take that shit.
If I was him, that would be the only option I would have.
Facts.
The only option I would take.
Facts.
Absolutely fascinating analysis. Thank you very much indeed for joining me, Ariel Mitchell-Kidd.
Shout out to Piers Morgan, man. Shout out to everybody in the chat for fucking with the kid, boy. Jaggy. Boy, she done did it.